Sandy, for you, when you look at the third quarter, when you're down, I think it was 17 when you called the timeout. But you were down at 18 at some point, but something clicked around that 6.5 mark. What did you tell the group, and what was the difference maker, and what changed?
Oh, that's a great question. Can't remember what I told him, but I told him it's a long game. I know I told him that. This is a long game. We just got to keep competing. We've got to keep executing. You know, obviously we wanted to crowd Jewel as much as we could. We wanted to help off some of their other players where we could, and all credit to these players. They just grit. This is a big win for us. You know, we dug ourselves a really big hole, but they found a way, and they found a way together, and that's what made me really proud.
You said this is a big win. As a group, what do you learn as a group from a game like this?
That it felt like a playoff game in that second half. The first half, it felt like a regular season, just up, running down. We weren't good. We were playing too fast. We weren't, we weren't making shots. Our defense wasn't there. But I think we just found a way. We made every possession count. So we're attention to detail. We're controlling what we could in that moment. And that's what you need to do to win. Our schedule's crazy, but that's not going to be an excuse. That's what I said. It's all mental now. We got to fight, and they fought. Every single one did their job. Even when we got scored on, we stayed together, and we keep saying you got to have a fist. And it doesn't matter what the record of the other team is. It does not matter. And everyone says, "Are we going to play consistently for 4 quarters?" This is WNBA basketball. Okay, the goal is, do we win the games? And these are one of the games I think can be a statement game for us, but we can't relax.
And for Betnijah and Breanna, there's a clip that the broadcast showed for Sabrina where early in the game the shot wasn't falling. You said, just wait, just wait. When you see at the end of the game her stat line, 12, 12, and 12, what's just your reaction to the impact that she had on the floor and to finding ways to be resilient and finding ways to make that impact?
I think just that, even though her shot wasn't falling, she was doing any and everything else that she could to make an impact to help the team, and she never gave up. And we know what she's capable of offensively in terms of scoring and everything. And she found a way to get that done in the second half. And so that's exactly what her stat line shows, is just resilience throughout the whole game.
Sorry.
I mean, it's pretty crazy to have a triple-double on like an off night. So it's not bad.
Very off night.
That's all I have to say.
All right, hi everybody. Congrats on the win. Just a question for Sabrina. When in the game did you really feel the momentum shift? Because at some point during the third and fourth quarter, we could really all see your emotion, and obviously with the triple-double. So when did you really have that moment?
Yeah, I'd say the second part of that third quarter, we were hitting some shots, we got some stops, and we always have believed in one another, and it showed tonight. It's tough playing a team 4 times, and so for us to be able to go 4-0 against this team speaks a lot about just the adjustments we've been able to make and finding a way to win throughout the adversity of a game. And they came out, and we played way too fast in that first half, and were able to settle down and get good looks at the basket, but also continue to push the ball and did what we do best with our transition offense.
And for Coach, if you could just speak specifically to Serena's ability to affect the offensive end aside from her scoring.
Yeah, some of her passing, I complimented her in the locker room, especially with B. Like B just cuts so well, and Sabrina, it's like she sees it happen before, she's even open. But, this is something. Sabrina's not just a scorer. She's one of the best playmakers, facilitators in the WNBA, and I was really proud of her. Yeah, the shot's not working. There's other things that you can do, and she was making big decisions. She didn't get in her head too much. She just continued to play and let the game come to her. So to go 12, 12, and 12, her rebounding was amazing. That's another area. That's how you can help us. Everyone can miss shots, can't they? They're human after all. But yeah, just her effort and her resiliency.
Hi, everybody. One question for each. Sabrina, on the night, in addition to the 12 overall rebounds, 6 rebounds on the offensive glass, which was the career high, on days when your shot isn't really going well, how valuable do you think it is, your work on the boards, to sort of help maintain those extra possessions and sort of keep the possessions going accordingly?
Yeah, just continuing to crash, making sure that I'm doing my job and getting into the paint and, hitting the boards in order to create more offense for us, and did so in the first half. In the second half, I knew my shot was off, so I just continued to shoot it and go get after it. But I know it's a strength of mine, of our team. If we can get good looks at the basket, it's always an opportunity for us to do that on the offensive end. And so at the end of the day, I'm just going to play. Whether my shot is going in or not, I have great teammates around me that are, able to continue to trust me to take those shots. And, I know the work that I've put in, so I'm not going to let one game of not shooting well really affect what's to come.
Thanks. And Breanna, throughout the game, as you guys were sort of struggling early on, the crowd was still sort of giving you guys that energy and sort of keeping you guys uplifted, just as a team, and especially as you're going on a big run late. Just how much sort of extra oomph does the crowd give you as you're making that big push?
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes we take for granted when we play at home. We've lost 3 home games, and when you have a crowd like ours, you want to be able to have them, help you. When things are getting tough, get behind us and give us more energy, and that's what happened tonight. And we just continue to keep playing, and that fourth quarter run, you could feel it. Like, you guys could all feel it. The shots were falling. Obviously, it was louder, and that just gives us even more confidence.
Sandy, why do you think you guys got off to such a slow start and dug yourself a hole?
Oh, it wasn't a slow start. We were sprinting.
Yeah, mine was like, you guys just slow down. Like, what are you trying to do? And when we had like 33s at halftime or something like that, it's like, I like threes, but not when you made 5. Look, I don't know. You have to ask that question to them, Ben. At least they'll, 4 and 6 days, they were bringing energy, but probably not the appropriate. Just, let's just read how we need to play and be a little bit more effective. We weren't getting into the paint enough. I just think we'll just had open threes, and we're a great 3-point shooting team, but you need obviously to be, diversify our attack and getting 2 feet into the paint, and they'll bring in a lot of congestion too. So it's ball. But if we could get in there and then pass it, it's a little bit more in rhythm, the shot.
Just going off of that, I mean, you mentioned the timeout in the third quarter. Was that a point of emphasis, just attacking, like getting offense, generating offense from the paint? I think you went to Stewie, then JJ, Betnijah, then
I mean, I tried to mix it up how they're defending us. The goal was to try and get the ball into B, obviously, and JJ and Stewie. And see, how we could go to work. They were switching, messing up the defense with Stewie, but she's always a target for us. And JJ, we didn't get her in enough action, but she rebounded the crap out of it tonight. And B's just a hard guard. I mean, just in her post up. So we found a way to win. We went with what we thought would work right then, and luckily enough it did.
I'm Cameron with Honest Sports. I have a question for all 3 of you, actually. What's your pregame ritual? Do you have a favorite food or a favorite drink that you eat? Pregame.
Sparkling water.
Spark.
For me, I always have to have a coffee. I always have a coffee before the game. Usually something plain, something light, but something that'll give me energy.
I don't think they need about me.
What's yours?
A Cliff Bar.
Oh.
Mine's a Body Armor water.
Oh, geez, what can I think of now?
Spark.
Spark. I do have a spark before the game. Advocare spark. And I know you didn't ask me the question, but that's okay. Gave it to you anyway.
Hi, all. Betnijah, first for you. As Sandy mentioned earlier, Sabrina found you on a bunch of cuts to the rim. Take us through how you think the trust has built between the entire team to be able to get those types of actions and scores as a result.
I think it's just been a build-up from the beginning of the season. We're all finding chemistry together. We now know each other's tendencies and, just where to be. And so we're just been doing a great job of playing off of each other.
Thank you. And Sabrina, for you, I'm curious what adjustments you've made in the past few games. In the first half of the season, you were shooting the ball really well, but we didn't really see the other facets of your game, that obviously consist of the triple-double. But I'm just curious, what has changed in the second half of the season?
Nothing. Just continuing to play my game. Obviously, I think we've just been connected as a team a lot more and being able to read off one another and just knowing where players are going to be. First half of the season, we still were building chemistry, figuring out how to play with one another, and that's tough, and especially a point guard position, just knowing where to get the ball and how to deliver it. But I believe that now we're in such a better spot and just knowing player tendencies, what their strengths are, how we can continue to leverage one another and using the strengths that we have on the court when the five of us are on there to create opportunities for one another. And so it's been really nice to continue to learn and build through the second half of the season. And there's still a long way for us to go, but you've been able to see the improvements that we've had just being able to know how we all like to play and the positions that we like to get into.
This can go to a coach or any of the other players. In the first half, Jewel Lloyd was 8 for 13. In the second half, she was 1 for 10. What were some of the adjustments that?
Last shot was her first make.
She went to the foul line.
Yeah, she went to the foul line a couple.
Not a three at the end.
Yeah, she went to the foul line a couple, but only going 1 for 10 in the second half. So maybe what were some of the adjustments or some of the conversations of what you tried to do differently from the first half to the second half?
Yeah, look, instead of switching her, we trapped her more to get the ball out of her hands. And that's what, and I think in the first half, we didn't want to give her open threes. We wanted to be up and in and push her into congestion. But, sometimes just not locked in and she gets in a good rhythm. That's a great player out there. But like I said, really, really proud of the effort, especially these two did in the second half, just making it really hard for her. But also JJ, but them reading off each other where we could help and not give up the little drop passes down to the post players, which we did in the first half.
Hi, this is for anyone. How would you describe where Jonquil's confidence level is right now and just her impact tonight, 17 boards?
I think her confidence level is exactly where it needs to be, and it's only going to continue to get better. She's a former MVP, and I think sometimes people forget that, but this is what she does. And yeah, it might have took her a little while to get back to form and get to the point where she wants to be, but we knew this was her and expecting this to come, and when she rebounds like that and just continues to dominate on both ends, it opens up a lot for us.
Hello, all. Congrats on the win. My question's for Sabrina. If this game, if this game, God forbid, went the other way, you would say that the triple-double would mean nothing. You just wanted to win. So having said that, now that you've gotten the win, how rewarding is it to see this serendipitous stat line contribute to such a huge win, a statement win, a momentum-turning win, especially because you guys hadn't swept Seattle since 2014, and it just speaks to the chemistry right now.
I believe if we would have won, I would have still been happy, regardless of what my stat line was. But knowing that, my teammates helped in a lot of that, being able to push. Marine played huge for us off the bench, and just seeing the confidence build and understanding that we have all these pieces put in place to help one another succeed, and that doesn't mean it's going to be 30-point games every single night. And being able to do that and grind it out with the players around me and seeing how we were able to do that, like going through that game, especially in the second half, and how we dug ourselves out is who we are as a team, just the grit that we have and the belief that we have in one another, and that's really what's important to me. Obviously, a triple-double is nice, but at the end of the day, we won, and that's really what's most important.
Sandy, 17-5 now. This is the best start in franchise history. So 22 games in, how meaningful is that? How meaningful is that accomplishment to you and to what you've accomplished so far in this first half?
Yeah, Jonathan mentioned to me after the game. I said, "Okay, that's great." I said, "It's great having really talented players too, and that's why." I've coached a lot of talented teams, but this is a pretty deep and strong team. But what I love about them is just their ability to come together and very coachable with how we want to play. That makes it fun for me, and I'm not big on records anyway. I just want to focus on the moment and continue to get better.
We'll take one more on Zoom from Miles.
Hi, Breanna. There was one possession with about 8 minutes to play, and you guys were down 5. That really embodied everything Sabrina brought tonight. Sab chased down 2 offensive rebounds, including one of her own misses, to find you for like a momentum shifting mid-range jumper. So for her to struggle all night to put the ball into the basket, but to finish with that 12-12-12 triple-double, how does that effort showcase the tenacity this team needed to complete the comeback?
I mean, I think it shows a lot of things. It shows tenacity, it shows maturity and growth, the ability that, for her to continue to keep playing. But, when we have Sab just nonstop working to get the ball, to find somebody, to get open, to rebound, it's huge for us, and it is a momentum shifter. To see someone doing that, then we all kind of fall in line. So, yeah, more triple doubles, please.
Great. Thanks, everyone.